things. Let's just make sure that folks are, we really had about half the people get their homework done over the weekend. You have to be getting your homework done over the weekend, okay? You really do. Make sure you're getting your assignments written down. Make sure you know what's expected. You've got way more time than you normally have, so I really do expect that you're working over the weekends on this stuff. Don't come in on Monday, every Monday, with homework not done. It's not going to end well. So for these particular problems, we had to draw two intersecting lines. And the first one, and the lines were labeled with points A, C, D, B, and intersecting at E. What most people did is they probably drew this. A, C, D, or B, let's make that one B, and this one D, with the point of intersection at E, which is just fine, okay? There we go. There are my lines. AC intersects BD at point E, and there are right angles. That's good. Next it says, so point E is the midpoint of AC. Well, again, we pretty much have that drawn here. All I'd have to do is mark in that it's the midpoint, right in the middle. Even though we haven't done the word midpoint yet, I think you can probably figure out what midpoint means, right? No? What do you think midpoint would mean? Point in the middle. There you go. Exactly.
Then I would think of E.
Yeah, that is point E, is the middle. But isn't that what it said? Point E is the midpoint?
Then why would you put B and D to be midpoint aiming towards E too?
Okay, midpoint means B and D are not on the same segment, are they? Okay?
What?
B and D are not on the same segment as AC. A and C are on the same segment. A and C are on the same line. B and D, A, B and C are not all on the same line. Okay? B could not be the midpoint because that forms an angle, not a line. Okay, the midpoint is right in the middle, on the line. B could not be the midpoint because B is off to the side. Finally, 43 says EA and EC are opposite rays. So EA and EC are opposite rays, that's correct. EB and ED are not opposite rays. This one required us to think a little bit, but we can do it. I can just move point B over there. Put 2 points on one side of the intersection. There you go. EB and ED are not opposite rays now. They are going the same direction. They're the same ray, actually. Draw one diagram that meets the conditions and one that does not. So that's one that meets it. The one that doesn't, we just go like this. Okay? So it's just a matter of moving things around. And again, that's really not so much that would be like an extension problem on a test. That would be like the one extra problem. But it requires you to kind of think spatially, which is kind of difficult to do sometimes until you train yourself into it. You'll get used to it eventually. But yeah, thinking like that is a little different. Okay? Anything else? So let's start looking at our review, because we do have a quiz tomorrow. And let's look at the kind of things we're going to be expected to know for the quiz. And so what I've done is I have, along with the other geometry teachers, we have a review packet for you. Yay. And what you'll find out when we give you review sheets or review packets, these are very, very much like the quiz you'll take tomorrow, just longer. No. This is a benchmark. This is just benchmark B1. Unit A just has the one quiz. That's all Unit A has. It doesn't have any tests or anything. All right. Now again, with this particular benchmark, I am expecting that everybody scores C and above on this because this is what we consider must-know data. These are things you must know in order to be successful in geometry. So we're really hoping this first time around that everyone gets a C or better, and when it doesn't get a C, you have to retake it. All right? No grades below C on this one. You have to retake anything below a C. That's just for this one quiz. This is the only time this will be all year. But you must get at least a C. Anyone below a C will have to do a retake. So it'll be in your best interest to spend some time making sure you know it. First, it says give the appropriate name for each picture. And again, as you look at the pictures, the information on the pictures is pretty important. So, for example, the first picture has arrows on both ends, and then points A and B on it. What would be the correct name for that? Yeah. Be line AB. So I'd have to say AB with the correct symbol. How about B? What would that be? That has this with two endpoints, C and D. So what would we call that? Segment CD. What's a segment symbol look like? A segment, right? No arrows? C was this, one arrow, point E and F, ray EF, with the ray symbol. And the ray symbol always goes to the right regardless of the direction of the ray itself. Yes? There's only 2 points, so it wouldn't be opposite rays. You'd have to have a third point in the center here to have two rays opposite. How about D? What is D? How would you name D? It is JHI. What symbol? Angle symbol. All right. So naming it using the correct symbol, the correct letters. Now, could I have said BA instead of AB here? Yes. I could have said DC instead of CD here. I could not have switched a ray. Rays are directional. Rays are different. I can't switch it. I could have gone IHJ instead of JHI, or even just angle H. Would have been okay because there's only one angle H. But you have to use a symbol. If you don't use a symbol, it's wrong. Got it? Filling in the chart, knowing the names. Can you understand, if I give you the name, how many sides it has? These are not in order, on purpose. It would be too easy if I just gave you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. So you got to think about this. Quadrilateral, quad means 4. Octagon, oct means 8. Hex. Okay, and oct and hex are kind of easy because oct, 8. If you know German, 8 is oct in German. Hex, 6, they have the X. Dodecagon, 12. Yeah, do-dec. Do is 2, dec is 10. 2 and 10. Triangle is obvious. Pentagon. Pent is 5. Decagon, 10. Heptagon, 7. Nonagon, 9. And you won't have to fill in this chart, but it might be just a question of how many sides does a heptagon have? Or draw a heptagon, or ask you some question about a heptagon. You'll need to know that means 7 sides. That's what we're checking. Number 3. Given our little picture here. It asks for another name for plane W. Now remember, W is not a point in the plane. W is the name of the plane, but we could use any three non-collinear points in that plane. Okay, is A in the plane of W? No, it is not. DBC would be fine. DBF, CBF. And again, we name a plane, we just use the word plane, not a symbol. DBF, let's say. All right, so that would be one example for A. For B, three collinear points. A, E, and B, yes. And we just list, there's no symbol for points. Just separate them by commas, so I'm not saying A, E, B together and thinking it's a plane or an angle or a triangle or something. We use the commas to separate them, so it's three distinct points. Four coplanar points. Okay, again, D, B, C, and F are all in the same plane. Would W be included in that? No, because W is not a point, it is the name of the plane. There's no point associated with W. Name a ray with initial point B. What do you got? Okay. C would be a possible ray with that, but how would you name it? Good. Don't know? BC. What's actually the only one that's drawn in as a ray in the picture? B. Now, if you said BC, that's fine. You could draw a ray BC, but what's the one drawn in the picture? BA or BD are both drawn in. But BC would be acceptable too. So I could say BC, or BA, or BD, or BE for that matter. Heck, you could even say BF. It just has to start with B. Give another name for segment BE using correct notation. It's almost too easy. EB, yeah, just reverse the letters for a segment. Three names for the angle. What is this for? A. So angle ABC. Angle B. Everybody see all three names? That's how you get them, where they're coming from. The second letter is always the vertex unless they're only naming it using one letter, in which case the one letter is the vertex. Okay? Part B said what is the vertex of the angle? B is the vertex. Just point B. Part C said name the sides of the angle. What kind of things are the sides of an angle? Okay, they are what? Are they lines? Are they segments? Are they rays? Are they planes? What are they? Rays. So AC or BC and BA. And again, here's where symbols, really important. Make sure you're naming them using the right symbol. If you just write BC and BA with no symbol, it's wrong. You have to use the right symbol. Do you think that angle is acute, right, obtuse, or straight? Obtuse? Is it bigger than 90? 4. Problem 4. You look at number 5. Don't look at the pentagon. Look at the angle. Is that more than 90 degrees? No. Because it's 4. Yeah. You're looking at the wrong thing. It's acute. Yeah, it is acute. 5. Choose the best word to describe the figure above. Equilateral, equiangular, or regular. It's regular because it has all sides the same. It is equilateral. and it is equiangular, which means it's regular. What do we know about regular figures? Regular figures can never be concave, can they? Regular figures have to be convex. They're the classic shapes we're used to seeing. So don't ever, if you see something that looks concave, even if all the sides are the same, it's not regular. Because not all the angles are going to be right. How about number 5? What do you think is the best word there? Or 6? It's equilateral. Do we know that it's equiangular? No, we do not. It looks like a square. It might be a square, but those angles might be 89 and 91. We don't know, not unless we're told. So equilateral would be the best choice. And again, it's not that spelling is a huge issue, but the word is right there in the problem, in the question, so you should be able to spell it correctly in the answer, right? The word is spelled for you in the question. You should be able to get the spelling right in the answer. Not that I'm going to take off for spelling, but just saying, not so bad. 7, graph the inequality on a number line, and then tell whether it represents a point, line, or ray. And it starts with x is greater than -5. So, I had a number line here, but I probably didn't save it. Okay, so we'll just do this. We'll do it this way. We'll create our own number line. Great. So I'm going to put -5 at the center because that's my critical point. Is it going to go to the right or to the left? Greater than is always to the right. It actually kind of indicates which way it's going. Okay? And it's going that way. Is it ever going to stop? No. Therefore, that would be a line, segment, array. That would be array. Next one. -2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 3.
Can you write 0 on here?
Sure. What do you mean? On your number line? Yeah, I can put 0 on there if you want. 0 is there. -10 would be there. Is that what you mean?
No, I'm just going to add like a middle point.
Oh, if you want your middle point, you can make any point you want your middle point. It's really up to you because the scale is open. You just have to label whatever your scale is. This one I am going to make 0 my center. My critical points are -2. So -1, there's -2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what does it say? X is greater than or equal to -2, but also at the same time less than 3. And somewhere in that range, what do we have? Line, ray, segment, segment. How about number 8? Find the lengths of each side in a regular polygon. What does it mean that it's regular, again? Yeah, so all the sides are the same length, so how am I going to use my algebra here? I'm going to add them up, set them equal to a total, or set them equal to each other? Yeah. Equal each other, yep. So 2x plus 5 equals 5x minus 16. And then we just do our algebra. Show your work when you're doing your algebra, please. It's not hard to show your work. I know you want to shortcut it. I know you want to do it more quickly than that. But the more you can show me, the better chance you have of receiving partial credit. If all you do is write down, and if you do it all in your head and just write down an answer and get it wrong, you lose all the points. If you show me you set it up, and let's say you did something foolish, and you did 16 and 5 is 26 instead of 21, you're not going to lose much for that. It's a small error. But if I don't know where that error is coming from, if I can't see it in your work, then I have to take off more. How about the other one, number 9? Again, it's regular figure, so the sides have to be congruent, or the angles have to be congruent. So x squared plus 16 has to equal x squared plus 4x minus 4. Now that looks a lot harder because of the x squared, but when we do our algebra, well, if 16 equals 4x minus 4, add 4, 4x equals 20, so x is 5. Not so bad. So don't let them freak you out by putting some x squareds in there. Just continue on. Even if the x squareds don't cancel out, something else probably will. You still wind up with a relatively easy problem. You do not have to factor. By the way, the last page had all the answers on this anyway. So, finally, choose a postulate illustrated by the picture. If you can't remember the number of the postulate, you can say what it's saying. So you get, okay, if what? Two what? What's intersecting? If two lines intersect, then their intersection is a point. How about B? If two... then their intersection is a line. How about C? If... what kind of points? Non-collinear. They're not collinear. They are coplanar by definition, but they're non-collinear, the triangle. And D would be if there are three non-collinear ports, then they determine a plane.
Wait, if two points intersect, there's a line?
What? No.
Or this is B.
B, if two planes intersect, then the intersection is a line. Which is postulates. I mean, the postulate numbers are listed on back. What we will do for that portion of the test is I will give you a list of the postulates, either on the smartboard or on a piece of paper, and you will have that. So you'll have that list. That pretty much gets us through the review. You just got to finish those last couple ones now, and that'll be your homework for tonight. Finishing that review. Those who didn't get last night's homework assignment done, get it done for tomorrow. It's 1 point less, but you can still get 2 out of 3 points. So get a passing score on it. 2 out of 3 is better than 0 out of 3. So get it done for tomorrow before the benchmark, and be studying this stuff. Take it home, redo the review sheet if you need to tonight to be prepared for this because, again, C or better or you're retaken. In fact, I may put anything down that's not at least a C as a 0 retake. So I'm not, any scores below 70 I'm not even going to put in. I'm just going to put in need to retake. So you have to get a C or better on this thing. But you are so capable. I mean, this stuff is not that hard. Everyone is capable of getting a C or better on this. Honestly, there should be tons of hundreds on this thing, I'm hoping. Really. Or at least 90s. At least 90s. Even if you can't solve an equation, set it up. You'll get half credit just for getting it set up correctly. All right. Any questions? All you people who are all packed up and ready to go, and we still got like a minute and a half. Or less.